Hey guys, and welcome back to COR Meets World Season 2. It's been a very long time since we've been here, since we've been together. I think the very last episode we did was in May, which was, after a break. So, like last semester was really hectic for me, and that last episode just kind of gave you guys like a recap of my semester and like the things I did and kind of like where I was in all the facets of my life. So to start off season 2, I kind of wanted to just do an episode recapping what happened since the last episode, what happened since season 1, and then we're going to talk about what's going on in my life currently and all those things. So to jump into it, we're going to start off by talking about my summer, of course. So the summer was really interesting. It was really fun. As most of you know, I spent the summer in New York City. I was interning with CBRE, which is a commercial real estate firm, and it was great. It was amazing. I really couldn't have asked for a better summer. While I was working like longer hours, it was like fun, long hours. Like I didn't mind going into my internship. I met so many amazing friends. Shout out to Anya and Molly and Joey and Anthony and all the people that I met. I could go on and on. Like there's like 50 of them that I love so much actually. And like just being with them and like I don't know, spending time with people that I actually enjoyed was really good. I stayed with my family that lives in New York, which was really fun. And like getting close to them, the people that I am related to, but wasn't that close to before, this summer. And it was really nice to also spend time with them and like get to know them more. So yeah, overall the summer was amazing. And then to add all of that craziness, add on to all that craziness, I also did 75 hard. So if you don't know what 75 hard is, 75 hard is a challenge where you work out twice a day, you follow a diet, you read every day, you drink a gallon of water every day, and you can't partake in any drugs or alcohol. And I did that for 75 days this summer. I started at the beginning of June, and I just recently finished August 23rd. That's not recent. That's almost a month now. But you know what I mean. I finished August 23rd, which was really fun. But basically that challenge, like, more so taught me so much about myself and my own self-discipline, and it definitely added a lot to the mix of the summer because being in New York City, of course, and being like in an internship and being with so many like people my age, it was really hard not to like partake in like a drink after work or like a drink here, a drink there. But it taught myself like how much self-discipline I actually am capable of, which was amazing, and it genuinely taught me so much about who I am as a person. And I just would recommend it to anyone who is thinking about doing it. Just do it because you will prove yourself wrong, and you'll prove a lot of people wrong too, which is also nice. But it was an amazing challenge, and I definitely like will say it like changed my life in a lot of ways. But looking back on the summer overall, like just to wrap all that up in a bow, it was so fun. It was so fun. I also got into like content creation, which was really interesting. I actually had a few like collabs, which was fun. I collabed with I started posting like TikToks consistently. That was a part of my challenge that I wanted to have for myself over the summer was I wanted to consistently post on TikTok and just see what happened. And honestly, like that was another part that made the summer amazing, just holding myself accountable, doing what I love, which is content creation, and then being able to like benefit from it. No, I'm not gonna lie. The collaborations weren't like big paid collaborations. Like I didn't get flown out on a brand trip or anything, but I did get a lot of free stuff, which was fun. So I collabed with Bellway, which was like this fiber supplement company, which was really interesting. I honestly like not a big fan of the product, but I got an entire tub for free. I also got an entire tub of protein powder from this vegan like protein powder health brand. And then I also got like I didn't actually post about this one, but I actually got some free like shorts from this like it was like a men's athleisure line, which was interesting because I did a lot of fitness content and I got a lot of people have been reaching out. And the thing is like I need to get back on the content creation grind, I feel, because I have like 3 or 4 emails from different people that I've been just gotten in the past month or so, and I just haven't responded. And I'm just like, bro, if you want to be a content creator, like you need to work for it. But I've been trying to be consistent. This has been a really good week for me. We have 2 semi-viral videos. So I posted one beginning of the week, and it's sitting at about 150,000 views. And then I posted another one 2 days ago that's sitting at about 15,000 views. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty stable. Um, I'm not gonna lie, not as great as over the summer, because over the summer I had some really big moments, had some really big videos. My most popular video, I'm not gonna say my most popular video because I have videos with way more views, but the video that I'm recognized for on the app, I would say that people attach me to is my Big Back Theory video, and that video is sitting at 1 million views right now, and not like yeah, like it was a big video, but it's not my biggest. Like I have bigger videos, and the thing is like. I have 3 videos just from this summer that are over 1 million views. And that just to me made me feel like, okay, I need to get on the grind. I need to take content creation seriously because I mean I'm doing something right. I understand something about the game. Um, but yeah, like that's just another part of the summer that I really loved. Like I loved making content and I love the genuine connections I made with people that I'm sure I'll see next summer. Cause looking forward, like I love New York City. And I also want to talk about that. Like yes, all those things were great about the summer, but the city, it just solidified how much I love New York City. Like it's just something about it. I'm not gonna lie, this is a hot take. I went to Brooklyn, didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. This is a hot take. Don't cancel me for my take, but Brooklyn wasn't my vibe. It was kind of scary. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Brooklyn. I loved Manhattan though, which is like obviously who doesn't love Manhattan, but like the East Village and like um I don't know, like the East Village, Chelsea, all these neighborhoods were so cool and I was just like, wait, I love Manhattan, but yeah, so I'll be back next summer with JP Morgan, of course, just a little looking forward and I'm excited for that. Um but yeah, like that's all. I love New York, and that's pretty much all for my summer recap. Now let's jump into the current stuff because not only do I want to touch on, I don't want to make all this entire episode about me. I do want to jump into some current events and things that are going on here and there. And we're gonna jump into that after we do a little now update because obviously that covers the summer, but summer's been over for about a month now, and I was trying to get myself together to do Core Meets World season 2 earlier on, but it just unfortunately didn't happen. And I've just been super super busy with like campus commitments and like all the college life stuff, as I'm sure a lot of you understand and know. It's been really tough to find free time, which like I literally had to block this off my schedule, and I was like, oh my god, like I should be doing work at that time, but it's fine. I'm gonna lock in for the rest of the day. But it's just like with club commitments and all the things I took on this year, and also being a junior, it's just a lot of work. It's a lot, and yeah, so I'm gonna try to post as frequently as I can. But we're gonna talk about Core Meets World stuff later. Let's do a current life update, I guess. So, looking into this semester, it's not exactly how I thought it would be. Like, life is definitely changing a lot. Like, I would say living off campus for one is a completely different ball game. Like, I'm never on main campus anymore. There's so many people that I don't see, which I kind of love. I'm not gonna lie. Like, no offense to y'all, but like, I really love like having my own time, like having private time and being at home and being away from campus and like all that, and like being at the B school all the time. All my classes are at the B school. Take with that what you will, but I love being at the B school. A lot of my friends are there, and a lot of my friends are business majors as well. And I think it's nice to be with people who understand kind of what you're going through, because like being around other majors is not, I don't know. I just like being around business school majors because I think we have a general understanding. And I think the same could be said for like a STEM major. Y'all get each other, we don't get you. And I don't know. I like that sense of community. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really liking this semester a lot. I've had a lot of fun. But I think the big thing is like just drawing back on the summer. Like, I learned so much about myself and genuinely like 75 hard kind of changed my mindset about a lot of different things, and like I don't know, I just feel like I'm implementing those changes into this semester when it comes to like the people I choose to hang around with, the choices I make, and all those things. Like I think I'm definitely seeing a little like evolution, if you will, which is really nice. That I'm really proud of, and like I don't know. I just think it's like very different, very mature kind of era. And I think going into junior year, I put that first. And I was like, okay, well, like these patterns, absolutely not. And I like just made a vow to myself to actually like challenge myself to grow and not just be stagnant in what I've always done, which I think I did a lot from freshman to sophomore year. Um, but yeah, like I'm just like the boring stuff, I guess, to jump into. Like I like really like my classes. They're kind of hard, but it's fine. Um, love my housemates, love my friends. Like everyone's doing well. I'm doing well. Love UNC Chapel Hill. I don't know. It's just a really good semester, honestly. Like so far, I don't want to jinx it. I do not want to jinx it. But everything's been going really, really well, which I just am really excited about. And I think looking into the rest of the semester, I just really I'm just really excited about it. But now I want to talk about like fitness and weight loss because you know what's so funny? Like I that's like well that was like my thing on TikTok. Like I think that was like my like niche was like fitness and like I know I'm like all over the place, but I do want to jump back into TikTok really quick because like that's kind of what I got known for on there. I was like my niche was like fitness and weight loss and dieting and like all these different things and like discipline. I would say was my big thing, um, and like I don't know. Like I just feel like implementing that into my life has changed a lot of things too about this semester and about what I have going on and like I guess self-perception, I would say. And that also ties into my point about it ties into my next point about like how a big thing that I've learned from season 1 to season 2 because this show is called Core Meets World. So I am going to just talk about like the things that I've learned and the things that I'm experiencing in the world and like what I'm learning is that like when people told us as a kid, like when we were kids, like, you could be anything you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do, like, there's no limit on how great you can be on or the things that you can accomplish. I think that slowly over the course of college, I've learned that. And like I've been able to put that into like every facet of my life, whether that's working out, whether that's school, whether that's recruiting and professional stuff, whether that's relationships and like the bonds I form, like anything that you want to do or anything you want to be or the caliber that you want to reach, I think you can. And that's like what my biggest takeaway has been from moving from Core Meets World season 1 to Core Meets World season 2. And I think that's like something I kind of emphasized in season 1, but like I'm really going to emphasize this season and like try to keep a theme going. It's just like that like motivational aspect of what I want this show to be. Um because I feel like to be like very vulnerable and like to really show show your imperfections and to show how you don't let that define you but you use your imperfections, you use your failures to be a better person. I think that's really like where that piece of you can be anything you want to be comes in because like your past doesn't define you, your mistakes don't define you, but what you do about it does. And I think that's just like a big lesson I learned that I kind of want to spread. It's just like if you want to do something, do it. There's no one else that's going to do it for you, and there's no one else that is going to like be better than you at it if you really are passionate about it, something you really want to do. And I think that's something that really gets lost in college, especially with the competitive nature of like a UNC or like a top university. Like we lose that, and we just forget about like our own potential. And I think that's something that shaped me from season 1 to season 2. Like I just keep surprising myself honestly on how much I can take on, how much I can handle, and how much I can accomplish. And I think last semester is when I stopped comparing myself to people, and that's when I got a lot of like personal freedom. And I think that's another thing I want to push is like that's another thing that like when it comes to Core Meets World, like another lesson I've learned from the world is like don't compare yourself to anyone else because your experiences aren't their experiences and vice versa, and your bandwidth isn't their bandwidth, your passion isn't their passion. Like your intelligence isn't their intelligence, and it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It just means that they're different. And that's just like a big point that I want to push and a big thing that I've learned. But yeah, I guess that turned into like a literally Core Meets World, like what I have learned and what I have gotten from the world. Like, and I think it's given me a sense of inner peace. It's giving me a sense of inner peace that like I haven't ever felt before. Because I always felt like going back to the point of me saying like I don't compare myself to anyone anymore. Like I always felt like there was something for me to prove. I always felt that I wasn't doing good enough. I always felt that I need to be completely transparent. I always felt like I needed to be better than the next person at something. And like I just don't have that feeling anymore. And I think it comes with a level of self-confidence that I didn't have before. Because now I don't need that fulfillment. Now I don't need that validation from an external source. Like I don't need to feel like I won something, to feel like I'm doing better than my peer or my classmate or my friends. Like I just don't have that desire anymore, but I just want to be better than me. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And I think like not just saying that, but genuinely feeling that every single day of my life has just honestly like freed me. It's freed me, but from the shackles of comparison and from the shackles of being or of like not having a good sense of self-worth, I think. Um and honestly, that's the one thing that you can that I feel like anyone can do, especially at the age of a college student, to set you up for a happy life. Like it's not, I don't know. I don't know. I think this is very cliche things that I'm saying, but I think I'm not just saying them anymore. I'm living it, and that's the difference. Um, and that's like, yeah, I don't know. I just keep saying it, but yeah, like core is meeting the world, and it is teaching me a lot about myself and about the future and the person that I want to become. Um, which leads me to my next point of what I want this podcast to be. I think I started COR Meets World because I wanted a podcast. I've wanted a podcast since high school. I have literally had the idea of COR Meets. I said this in season one. I've had the idea of COR Meets World since senior year of high school. So how many ever years ago that was? What, 3 years ago? I've had this idea, and I didn't know why I wanted a podcast. I had no idea why I wanted a podcast. I said, actually, I do now. I remember season one. I said I wanted a podcast because I talk so much and I have so many opinions. And I was like, okay, well, I want to share them. And I mean, if you know me in real life, you know that that's the case. I always want to share my opinion. I always want to talk. I always want to overshare. And that's just my personality type. So I was like, how can I do this without, how can I do this with making it voluntary? So I was like, I'm oversharing. I'm talking too much. I'm doing whatever, but you're voluntarily watching it, not me like just like oversharing and like talking too much to people, because that's annoying. But I was like, yeah, that was the original premise of this podcast and why I wanted to do it. But given the jump, like I just said, everything I learned from season one to season two, and all the changes I made as a person from season one to season two, I genuinely believe that that's not the purpose of this podcast anymore. And that's not what I want it to be. I don't want it to just be me. Because I would get on here and do hot topics like Wendy Williams and like talk about like pop culture, which I still will do. But I think I want to talk more about my personal experiences and talk more about how they are forming me as a person. Because I didn't do that much season one. I didn't talk about my personal experiences. I didn't tell stories that much. Only thing I did was get on here and talk about current music dropping, pop culture, things that interested me that my friends don't care about, like all that stuff. That's what I got on here and did. And I'll still do that. Don't worry. But I also want to build out this podcast and make it something so much more and make it something that's so much more meaningful. And something that I can go back and watch and say, oh my God, like I'm not that person anymore. But I'm glad I can sit back and watch that person and see how I've grown, And that's what I want this podcast to be. And I want it to be something where someone can sit down and watch it and say, huh, it was entertaining, but it was also, I actually got something from it other than laughter or updates about pop culture or whatever the case may be. Sorry, this episode is a lot more serious than usual, but it's just because like it's season 2, episode 1, and I really do feel like if I name my podcast COR Meets World, I need to talk about the things that I'm getting from the world, the things that are making me right now. Like I can't just get on here and cackle with y'all all the time and talk about Trisha Paytas, but that'll also be a part of it. But I mean, we have to be serious sometimes. But moving on, talking about the continuation of my podcast and what I want it to be, I really want you guys to. I'm going to post an Instagram story poll before I even drop this episode, so you'll see it. But asking about guests, I really want to be I think I did a very good job at picking guests last season. Like we had our student body president, Jalea Taylor on, who was amazing and provided so many insights into UNC and like the back end of the administration and the things that she's fighting for. And, luckily not luckily. It was not luck. It was all hard work and grit. But thankfully, she won, and now she's our student body president. And then we also had Sam come on, who was running for BSM president. Right before she announced her campaign, she came on here and promoted. And luckily, not luckily, uh, thankfully, she won BSM president. And I think like having those guests on really made me feel like this podcast was impactful because it's like they have so many valuable things to say to you, and they deserve a platform because they have they have something of value to say. And I think that's kind of where I want to go with season 2. So when you suggest a guest, don't just say me. Don't say, oh, put me on your podcast. Why? What do you have to say? And it's like, yeah, we can get on here and we can laugh and we can talk about, how we met, but that's not the point. Like I feel like when you compare a guest, like I had, like say like if you compare like your recommendation of a guest to my episode with Jalea Taylor or my episode with Sam, you see what I mean? Those two added value, and that's what I want from my guests in season 2. I want to continue that, and I want to continue to add value to the people who are watching this podcast. So when you request a guest, don't just say yourself. And if you do say yourself, make sure you have a reason. Um, but yes, I think I also, in addition to being very mindful of my guests, I also want to do segments, and I don't know what they're gonna be, but I do want to do them. So like COR Meets What? Like I don't know. I think the name is so fun that we can play with it and do like little segments. So if you guys have any ideas, also send that to me. Um, but yeah, I think the next episode we're gonna have. I actually don't know who the guest is gonna be for next episode, but I have 3 guests that are already locked in for this season. I don't know which of them or if any of them will be the next episode, but the next episode will be a guest episode. And yeah, I know this episode was really fast, and I didn't really like jump into that much, but the purpose was really to jump into like what happened between season 1 and season 2. What did I meet? What did I learn? Like I don't know. I'm talking about my personal experiences here, and that's what I did. But some quick little things though. I do want to pop in with some pop culture updates and a few things. Nicki Minaj is on tour. Second leg. I will be seeing her in 3 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks and 5 days. I will be seeing Nicki Minaj in person. For the second time this year, which will be amazing. First time I saw her at Dreamville, which is a festival. This time I'm seeing her on her tour, so I will get 3 hours of Nicki. I'm so ready, y'all don't understand. She's also dropping Pink Friday 3. She was gonna do a deluxe album, but now she's doing Pink Friday 3. I know y'all don't know this and don't care, but if you're watching COR Meets World, it's something that you're gonna get. Um, because I love Nicki Minaj and I'll always promote her. So not only should you be streaming Pink Friday 2, make sure you're streaming Pink Friday 2. Make sure you know the words to Barbie Dangerous, and also get ready for Pink Friday 3. Go ahead and start streaming those unreleased songs like Mamita and OK and the Anxiety song, all those songs that are unreleased right now from Nicki. Make sure you're streaming. Someone else to keep an eye on that I am starting to slowly stay in is Addison Rae. Addison Rae's music has blown me away. I had low hopes for her music career, considering the fact that she came from TikTok. But Diet Pepsi is going to be probably in my top 20 songs of the year. It was amazing, the production of it, the vocal layering alone. Like, the vocal layering alone makes me think that either Addison has been studying music or she has an amazing producer, because I'm going to go ahead and, like, that was like Ariana Grande, or I'm not going to jump to say Billie Eilish level producing, but I'll say Ariana Grande level producing, or even Victoria Monet level producing when it came to that vocal layering. I was blown away. She stacked those harmonies on the chorus like 5 times, and I could hear it, and I was like, this is insane. She cares about her craft, and that's the difference between an artist like Ice Spice and an artist like Addison Rae. One cares about the craft, one is having fun, which is totally fine, but I just respect that a lot from Addison. So we're going to keep her on the radar. Chapel Roan, we don't need to talk about Chapel. We will. Actually, you know what? I'll give Chapel her own segment on another episode just because we have lore with Chapel. If you don't keep up with my TikToks, I recently got into a little bit of a tiff with Chappell Roan's fan base. On TikTok, I didn't respond. I just made a video, and they kind of wrote think pieces, and I think Chappell saw it. I have reason to believe that Chappell Roan saw my video, and that's all that we're gonna say about Chappell. I love Chappell Roan. I stream her every day. However, I feel awkward streaming her now because I feel like we kind of have a little bit of beef, which is, I don't know. I don't know. TikTok is a funny place. It's crazy how like me, just a college student, can have like conflict with a pop star. That's so funny. But I still stream her. It's fine. It just feels kind of awkward because I feel like she kind of hates me. But that's okay. Um, Other pop culture updates. Trisha Paytas was spotted in a studio. And if you guys know Trisha Paytas' music career, going back to Freaky, to all these hits, I Love You, Jesus, Trisha's coming back, and I think that's what we need in 2024. She already confirmed she's doing Christmas music. We're getting fed this year. What else can I say? What else? I don't know if Billie had dropped Hit Me Hard and Soft. She hadn't. Billie hadn't dropped Hit Me Hard and Soft season 1. Hit Me Hard and Soft is my favorite album of the year. That might be a hot take considering the fact that Cowboy Carter, Eternal Sunshine, and Short and Sweet also dropped this year, and Brat. I don't care. Hit Me Hard and Soft is one of the best albums of the modern music world. I feel like when it comes to writing, vocals, producing, stepping out of the box musically and challenging herself, Billie Eilish took it there, and that's my album of the year. That's probably my album. Yeah, that's my album of the year. For sure. And if she doesn't take that Grammy home, we know something because Taylor Swift sucks. But yeah, also honorable mention, Eternal Sunshine was also amazing. That's probably gonna be my second number 2 album of the year, Eternal Sunshine, and then I'll give it to Cowboy Carter. And then Short and Sweet, or Short and Sweet and Cowboy Carter would probably be interchangeable for that third position. But yes, it depends on the day because Sabrina also did her thing with Short and Sweet. But that was kind of like a quick pop culture music run through. I don't think there's any big controversies that I want to address on this episode. I'll probably address them next episode. Like we have to talk about Alex Earl's controversy. We'll talk about Brooke Schofield's controversy. And then what else will we jump into? We'll jump into all these big controversies that we missed over the summer. We'll do a quick recap of them, my opinion on them, the current controversies we're seeing. Quick note, Nikocado Avocado, like, his weight loss was insane. But, yes, that's about it. I'm not going to jump into the pop culture today because I just wanted this to be a quick intro episode to make sure you guys know that I'm still alive and to get back in the groove of podcasting because it is like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, I don't have a producer like Trisha Paytas and the Cancel Podcast where I can just walk in here and start talking. One day we will, though. One day we will. I'm manifesting that. But yeah, that's like the last point I wanted to make. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, then I'll always say this at the end of the podcast. But like, if you made it this far, we're locked in. And I love when people come up to me or like say something to me like in public and be like, yeah, I made it that far. I made it to this episode. And also, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who has been like messaging me, asking me where COR Meets World is. Because why do y'all care? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the fact that COR Meets World is even a thing is like crazy to me because I was in mall the second week came back to UNC. And this guy came up to me. He was like, where's COR Meets World Season 2? And I was like, oh my God, no, literally, where's COR Meets World Season 2? Like, the fact that y'all care is so crazy. And the fact that some of you actually watch this it just means so much to me, genuinely. Whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, whether you're watching it on YouTube, anything. Even if you watch the clips and the highlights, like, and interact with that content on my TikTok or my Instagram, like, thank you so much, genuinely. Sorry, because this was supposed to be a personal project for me. Like, this wasn't supposed to be, like, something that I thought everyone would kind of, like, also enjoy, I guess. Like, that just really, I don't know. That just really shocked me. And I just love the fact that this is, like, a thing. And I love the fact that you guys watch it and allow me to get on here every other week or every 3 weeks or so and yap to you. But yeah, I think this episode will probably drop in October. I'm probably gonna shoot for an October drop because it's September 19th today, just to give you reference. I'm gonna shoot for an October drop. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.